Hello, my friends. I hope you are well. Today, I want to talk about Docker Model Runner, and this is a quick tutorial about that. I found that very interesting, and for people who are really interested in using AI and large language models locally, I think that that can be interesting tutorial. But what is Docker Model Runner, and how can we use Docker Model Runner? In fact, we have two ways to use Docker Model Runner. We can use user interface, that is Docker desktop, and another way is actually using the terminal, it's CLI. And I'm just preparing a post about Docker Model Runner versus Ollama. But quickly, if you want to know what is that, if you are struggling to get large language models to running your local machine without GPU headaches or CUDA setup, the Docker Model Runner is your solution. But why use Docker Model Runner? Because you don't need any installation for CUDA or mess with GPU or CPU configuration. Access with CLI or Docker Desktop, as I mentioned before, that's in the beta feature inside of the desktop, the Docker Desktop. And if you want to provide a comparison between Docker Model Runner and Ollama, the most important difference between them is in architecture, because Docker Model Runner is directly run in host operation system and not in a container. But Ollama is running inside of the container. Another difference is instead of integration, the Docker Model Runner can actually run Docker desktop, so it can actually perform as a UI for us, but on Ollama we just use the CLI. And in terms of API access, the Docker Model Runner is accessible in localhost 12434, but Ollama is accessible in 11434. So they are the most important difference between Ollama and Docker Model Runner. And let me show you quickly how you can access to Docker Model Runner. But definitely we have some requirements, and you can actually check it based on your system. For example, I'm a user in the Windows, and this is the requirements for me. For Mac OS, Linux, you can actually just check it. Okay, let me show you first the easiest solution to use Docker Model Runner in Docker Desktop. This is Docker Desktop, and you can see here a gear for sitting, and just click on that. I absolutely suggest you to update your software and just click on the beta feature, and you just need to enable the Docker Model Runner. That's all. Believe it or not, this is all you need to do. Close that. Back here you can see the models part in Docker Desktop, and even you have access to MCP toolkit here. And maybe I will make another video about MCP toolkit inside of Docker in the future. But now we want to discuss about the models part. And inside the models part, you have access to all models you can see in Docker Hub. And even you can actually just pull the model directly here and use inside of this UI. Very easy, just pull the model. It takes a little bit time, not long. And that's all. Just run it, and you can see we have access to this model from Hugging Face, small model. And just ask, hi, how are you? And you can see I'm doing great and other stuff. So this is one way. And if I check the models part, you can see I have this model. Let's delete this model from UI, and I will just pull this model again in CLI. But how to work with that inside of the terminal? Let me open my hyper terminal, and here if you are familiar with Ollama, you know that, for example, when you want to use the Ollama, you just need to say Ollama, and here you have access to everything about Ollama. For example, Ollama run, stop, pull, push, list. Just keep in mind this, and after that, I want to use the same thing for Docker Model Runner, and here I just need to say Docker Model and That's all. You have access to Docker model runner, and here you can actually use pull model, push model, remove the model, and a lot of stuff here. And again, for example, if you check this specific model from Hugging Face, you can see here you have access that instead of a terminal with Docker model pull and the name of the model. Okay, that's all. For example, about me, now I have not any model. I can check it, Docker model list, and you cannot see any model here, but easily I can say Docker model pull this model, and after that the model is not very big, so download successfully. And again, let me clear here, and I can say Docker model list, and you can see here we have access to Docker to this model small LM2 360 million parameter. So let's work with that. Very easy. I can say Docker model run the name of the model. Here is AI disquiet name, and put here, and that's all. You have access to this model. You can say, hi, my name is Pejman. Hey, dear Pejman. Okay. Or how are you? Okay, thank you. And easy, you can actually say /by to leave this, and that's all. Again, I can just check Docker model, everything about that. And if you want, for example, delete this model or remove this model, you can actually easily do that. Let's do again Docker model, and again Docker model list, and that's all. We have this model here, and you can actually even remove this model with Docker model rm and the name of the model, and the model won't be available more. So just this, again clear, and again Docker model list, and that's all. Everything is good and finished. Let's leave it. And that was a quick tutorial about the Docker model runner. I hope it was helpful for you, and have a nice day. Bye bye.